friends, welcome back for another Stamptember exclusive video using the Lawn Fawn Seasons Tweeting stamp set. Now this set is so adorable and you can create a winter scene using these tree branches, or you can have these cute little birdies sitting on a power line with those Christmas lights. I'm going to use those Christmas lights anyways on my trees because I think there's nothing wrong with Christmas lights on tree branches. I've got all of the images that I want to use for my card today stamped out here, and I'm just going to start coloring with Copic markers. As always, I'm going to apply the darkest shade first, blend it out with the medium shade, and then finally the lightest shade over all of that. I've got lots of Copic markers and they're all in the same color family, so it kind of melts together really well. It's absolutely okay to blend two colors that aren't from the same Copic family. As my friend Kathy Rakusin would say, just color pluck and meld those colors together. It just sometimes requires a little bit more work, but it doesn't mean it's impossible to achieve the colors and tones that you want. Okay, so now I'm moving on to this little birdhouse. I'm adding the same browns as from the tree trunks, giving it a little bit darker shade, and then I wanted my roof to be red. So I did that, and then now I'm coloring the base of the house a teal color. Alright, I'm going to skip through the rest of the coloring because it's all the same. I apply with the dark, go in with the medium, and then once more blend with the lighter colors. And after I've die cut all of these images, because this awesome stamp set comes with dies, I'm going to go ahead and add some white gel highlights, and then I decided I wanted to make a slimline card. So I've got a panel here that I'm just going to ink blend some clouds on for the background using Peacock Feathers Distress Oxide ink. I'm using the Lawn Fawn Cloudy stencil, and I'm just going to pivot and move my stencil so that I can get different patterns going all the way down my slimline card. One tip that I want to share while ink blending is you want to make sure that you go both directions while you're moving your dauber or whatever tool you're using for ink blending so that it creates a nice blend going in both directions. Okay, so I've got the small slimline die here from Lawn Fawn that I'm going to go ahead and cut that panel from. I'm playing with the layout, and then once I have used up all of my images and figured out where I want things to go, I'll go ahead and start adhering things down. But first, this is probably the first time I've remembered in a while, stamp your sentiment first. Then I'll roughly put back my images where I want them to go, making sure that the spacing is right before I adhere down those branches using some foam adhesive, and then attach the rest of my images with foam adhesive as well. I'm just going to trim off this little string here for my birdhouse so that the top part of that string can tuck underneath that second branch. I'm just cutting strips of foam adhesive now to apply to the back of those branches and images, and I'm going to work my way from the bottom up. That way I know that things are spaced out as they need to be before reaching that top branch. I've also trimmed down my lights here so that they can fit directly over those branches. I think that gives it a nice holiday feel and gives it a lot of extra interest and dimension as well. For smaller areas that need to be adhered together like this, I like to adhere the back of them with foam adhesive. That way it ties together and you don't have to fuss with glue from the top of that birdhouse onto that bow. It just really simplifies the process for me. Okay, so then I'll go ahead and remove the backing, and since they're adhered together, I can adhere them onto my card background as one unit. Okay, I'll go ahead and attach my second branch now and then do what I did with the first branch. I have a piece of Christmas holiday lights here that I'm just going to attach to that branch as well to give this card a more cohesive look with those lights. At this point, I introduce my birdies as well to make sure the layout is right before I adhere them down. At this point, I decided that I needed one extra birdie because I wanted him to be facing the other direction instead of that birdie with the scarf facing the right. I wanted to use one that faces the left. So I quickly stamped and colored another image with this birdie here wearing some deer antlers, that it's facing the left, and it just makes my scene look a little bit more cohesive. Now finally, after attaching all of my birds using foam adhesive, I decided to add some more sentiments. It's a quick way to fill in that white space on the card, and it also shows them singing holiday songs from their tree branches. So I put my whole scene into my MISTI, added my sentiments, and then stamped them on there. I'm going to be creating a card base now for my slimline card. The slimline panel itself is about 3 inches by 8 inches, so I wanted a 1/4 inch border around to mat my card. So I've trimmed a piece of cardstock down to 7 by 8.5 inches, and then I'm going to score it down the center at 3.5 inches. And then finally, I can add this slimline card to my card base and finish off my scene for today. I think you could very well create this scene on a regular A2 sized card and it would be just adorable. I really hope you enjoyed this fun slimline version using the Lawn Fawn Seasons Tweetings Stamp Timber exclusive for Simon Says Stamp. I had a lot of fun making this card and I can't wait to see what everyone else creates. Have a great day. Bye.